We'll never speak of this again. Don't look at me! Please don't look at me! Don't look at me! Don't look at me! Hi, I'm IVATOPIA, and this is an update on the game Pro Wrestling X that is in early access. This build is 0.785, and we have got a few more neat features that have been added to the game too, since my last video on this very game. So let's go and take a look, shall we? First thing you can see is this brand new opening screen with a nice spinning ring in the background. And what else is new? Well, of course, this edit button is. Let's take a look, shall we? This is very basic at this stage, but we have Edit Wrestler, what currently uses the art assets from the only two superstars in this very game, Grasshopper and the other guy, I can't say his name correct. Well, let's have a go anyway. Tyrone, or something like that. Plus a default wrestler, basically a jobber. But as you can see, you have a few nice options that will allow us a lot of freedom when they have been filled out with a lot more art assets. But for now, it's quite bare, but still nice to see the direction they're going in. You can change the colours of some of the options here too, what is also nice, and so far save one new wrestler and reload him in the actual game. So that is right, not only can we pick our own created wrestler now, we can pick from the other two superstars, or wrestlers, however you prefer, as well, instead of being forced into one wrestler like the older version. So again, the first version of the character select screen is now upon us. This guy I'm going to call Ivan Reaver. Now I will save him. Anyway, back to the other edit mode button, known as Edit Ring, what allows us to go over the top of any of the already 8 rings in the game. This allows us to select any of them when we play an actual match. We can change the colours of most of the ring parts right here and even pick a new logo inside the ring. Again, this has very few art assets, but you can see the foundations look solid for adding more later on. They've also added new songs to the different menus, what are very cool, as well as adding the option to save your current game settings from the option menu. Again, very basic, since you have to click load next time you turn the game on, but again it is going in the right direction and is a lot better than loading the game up, having to pause and set the game the way you like it. For example, AI aggressive. Every time you play a new match. Boy, was that annoying before, but thankfully, I will say again, thankfully, them days are gone, long gone. Plus, we can see the game's controls here, if you need to know how to play, etc. Well, let's take a look at my newly saved ring and created wrestler, shall we, as we start a new game. As you see, we can scroll through the 3 different wrestlers. I can see this being very annoying when we've got hundreds or more wrestlers in the game, but for now, only having 3, it's fine. And I do know Dave, the guy in charge of Pro Wrestling X, has stated on some of his Twitch streams that practically everything is placeholder. So in other words, a better wrestling select screen will be coming down the line at some point. But for now, it's not needed with only 3 wrestlers. Even 10, it should be fine to use still. But any more than that, I would expect them to move away from this version, and I would be very surprised if they didn't. Now we have selected my creator wrestler and his opponent Grasshopper, since I can say his name, and now we can scroll throughout the different rings, and right there, see it, right there is my ring, the ring I created using a create a wrestler mode, no, rephrase that, create a ring mode. Now let's start the match, shall we? Okay, so the game looks about the same as last time I did a video for it. So what's new, I hear you ask? Well, young Grasshopper, have some patience and I will tell you. See what I did there, Grasshopper? Well, never mind, let's get back to the game. We have 2 new moves added to the game. Firstly, the Dragon Sleeper, so 1 more submission move, awesome. And then the Mighty, and no man likes taking the low blow, or maybe you prefer the Nut Shot as a name. Up to you. Either way, listen to that ding. Listen. There is just something satisfying about pulling off that move in wrestling games, especially when you want to play as a heel, don't you think? Listen again. And then the walking away animation is so awesome, and the ding sound effect, I hope they keep that in. It's just the icing on the cake. You know what? I'm going to screenshot this right now, but I hate the camera angle. Well, don't worry, Pro Wrestling X has got you covered. By pausing the game, we can now access their new screenshot mode and play the current animation out as fast or slow as we want, and move the camera in by zooming or rotating, etc. to get that perfect angle just right. The only bad side to this mode I have found so far, when I hit the A button on my gamepad like the game says, and go to my screenshot folder, all my screenshots are black. Well, I am not 100% sure why, but if I use the keyboard's F12 button, the default for Steam for taking screenshots, they're normally correct. After all this, it is an early access title, so we got to expect some bugs along the way. Speaking of bugs or functions that need a bit of tweaking, when you pause the menu to get to the screenshot mode by scrolling down to the correct button, you have to hit the analog stick on your gamepad every time to move it. I would like to be able to hold it down and it moves through each button in a timely fashion. Plus, I hit the start button on my gamepad to get to this menu. I can't use the same button to get out. I have to scroll back to resume and then click. I would like the start button to pause and bring up the menu, and to unpause and remove the menu. Okay, so how does this game feel now compared to the last time? A lot more fluent than it was before, but it still has some work to go, but it is improving. And they have even added some rope physics now. Even if it is only affected by 2 moves currently, it is still nice. So, is this game still worth the price of $9.99 like I said it was last video? Well, I believe it has got better, so it's still worth picking up and supporting these devs. If you are a wrestling fan and you don't mind the game taking a while, but just like last time, if you want a finished game and you want to play for hours and hours having a multitude of awesome matches after awesome matches, then you should wait. Still, I believe it will get there in the end, but this is not today. So this is IVATOPIA, and I will leave you with some more gameplay. I hope you... Wait a minute. I've not even spoke about the coolest new feature of this early access title. How can I not do that? What am I talking about? The blood, of course. Yes, that's right, blood is in the game. As you can see here, right now, on this screen, and it stays on the mat, and even gets darker the more times it is spilt on the same spot, plus leaves more where your head hits, as you can see on the screen right at the moment. Anyway, hope you enjoy some of this gameplay. Okay, let's cut some of the gameplay here and go later on in the match, because at this point I actually paused and was taking screenshots. So I hope you enjoy the rest.
1, 2, 3, pinfall.
And here's a few screenshots I took with this game. As you can see, the program I used to record it with was also captured in a screenshot, since I was using Steam's F12, since using the proper method, like I said, when I went to directory they're all black, so I had to use the Steam's version, but the game still allowed me to set up these different angles, and with the blood effects, it's really amazing. There's not that many moves in the game yet, but the moves that are in can look spectacular, as you can see by some of these screenshots, and these are probably not even the best ones that other people and other fans are going to put together. Look at that, just blood. Awesome. Undertaker, look, his eyes are back of his head. Okay, wait, take a photo of that. I really don't think this is the best position to be going in the front cover of a wrestling magazine. And there was another photo. Stop taking photos of me. You know, this is going to get photoshopped, isn't it? Because, you know, I've kind of got a bit of blood on my face, and I don't think this is the most flattering angle. Okay? Is this okay? No? No? Come on, I want a heroic shot. You know, not when I'm on my back, bleeding. You know, a shot where I'm actually hurting the other guy. Please?